500. So if we're looking at landscape services, you've got 19,569 on the piece of paper, but you've got to knock off that, the Woodlands Walk, 2,600, because that's charged to the Woodlands Walk fund. Okay? So we're looking at 17,000 against the 20,500. So 17,000 plus an amenities manager, let's call it 2,000. We're up to 19,000.
Okay.
So there's not much margin for anything else.
What is the get-out clauses on these? If they do a terrible job, how quickly can
On
they
the
get
contract.
Well, one is that they don't get paid, and if the wording is if it continues, it will possibly result in the termination of the contract. It's nothing more legal than that.
Wording is, in the event of the contractor not attending as per the agreed programme, sign-off and payment may be withheld until the matter is resolved. Continuing non-attendance may result in the contract being terminated. If, in the opinion of the amenities manager, work carried out has not reached an acceptable level, payment may be withheld. Continual unsatisfactory work may result in the contract being terminated.
And is there any other termination agreement? Or is it just for a fixed year? 2 years or 3 years?
2 years.
2 years.
It's a fixed 2 years, and that's the only way it can be broken.
Any questions? You said that landscape services, you take off the amount for Woodlands Walk. Gives you a number. You also have a number of how much you have for amenities. One from the other gives you how much?
2,500.
Which
3,500.
3,500. Which is for anything else.
Yep.
Define anything else.
Amenities manager.
No, you've already.
No, the amenities manager is not included in the 17,000. The cost of the amenities manager would have to be added to the 17,000.
Okay. So if you add that lot up, you get a number, negative or positive, for anything else. What is anything else?
Well, we never know is the answer. I mean, we had to provide.
Possibles are if in Woodlands Walk there's a conservation area that's got it's woodland. So obviously, if there's tree work required in there, anything on the glebe field, that would come under the environmental budget. Hedge cutting itself, so I wouldn't be concerned about
But
that.
I assume you'd have you've already got a contingency fund in your budget. So therefore, if these sort of things do occur, you've got the funds.
I'd rather keep the contingency fund.
We all would
because I would like this year to think that we could keep to our budgeted spend. Okay, and a contingency fund, I believe, will be necessary as we move forward to kitting out this parish office that you heard about earlier, and defibrillators, things that are necessary rather than the normal run-of-the-mill stuff. Okay, so I would prefer to keep a general reserve, which will be around about £15,000, is my guess. At the end of the year, but I'd rather keep that for any future costs, like extending we may have to spend quite a lot of money in the extension of the medical centre. So all the time we don't know these things. I'd prefer to think that we could manage ourselves according to the budget that we took time putting together, and leave the reserve to later times when we know expenditure will be incurred, exceptional expenditure will be incurred.
I'll just say, we're not obliged to take the cheapest option.
No, we're not obliged to.
No, we are obliged to take the best, what we consider the best value for money.
There's one other thing I'd like to say, and that is it would be nice to be able to rely on our environmental committee, and their recommendation is that we go with HEBA. The fact that there's a 2 to 1 vote is really that's past tense then, but the recommendation is by majority that it's HEBA because they're £4,000 less than the other contender, landscape services.
Okay, so other questions? No. So how many in favour of HEBA?
1, 2, 3.
Okay. Landscape services?
1, 2, 3, 4. So we've got some abstentions.
Are you, is that an abstention or
Abstention.
Yeah.
We don't.
We don't know enough
I
about
don't know enough.
Don't know
I've been here
enough
longer.
about make judgment. Well, just say one thing, caveat M4.
Well, then that would be landscape services.
Right.
Thank you. Can I suggest that
I'll throw this open to someone.
That should be deferred then.
See how they get along.
So is that what you're
That's my
proposing?
proposal, yeah.
What is that?
That we don't employ an amenities manager for the first
No, I
step
don't.
without
Well, how do we know whether the people are doing a good job?
Oh, look here.
No, I don't agree with that.
I think you need to let the village know that you paid £4,000 above
Yes, I will, Gary. I will.
I mean, because I'm a villager and I don't agree with the decision that's been made.
Sorry, Kerry, you can't talk. It's just it's a closed meeting.
Part of being public though.
Right, okay. So, right, Stephen back in.
No point in committees.
Right. 8.2 other environmental issues. If you recall last year, we investigated, we had a report from someone who tests the children's equipment in the play area at Glebe Field. And naively, I suppose me, I thought because I understood it was just going to be a few nuts and bolts. So I suggested a budget of 250, which was agreed and passed. However, once we actually got all the prices in, you can see there it's 1,192 to do it properly. It's arguable whether we need to change the chains, but that's a recommendation of the company, so I'm no expert. I don't want to take children's lives at risk for the sake of, you know.
When you say you see 1,000,
Oh no, it's because he's talking.
so how much are we talking about?
£1,192.
How much? Sorry.
£1,192.
Well, that comes out of the amenities budget, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You know, I got the file on this play equipment, and I've been looking through it. Did you tell me that there was a letter from the manufacturers at some point that they installed the wrong equipment?
No, I mean, these companies have contacted the company that supplied it, and it's their recommendation that the chains have changed. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure who put the...
But if they put the wrong chains in the first place, and I
Yeah,
could
but
read
whose
something-
instruction? I think my understanding is that came from the parish council because we didn't want the chains being wrapped over. So we
Yeah, it had an extra bit
Yeah.
put on the put on there.
and we asked them to do that.
Because as soon as it was installed,
Right.
the parents couldn't take their children on the swings because
They were still wrapped. They
children
were
had
still
wrapped it all
yeah.
around.
Now, if I was that company, I would have said, yes, we can do that, parish council, but here's a letter, I want it agreed that if it doesn't work, that's down to you, because that's not how they're meant to be. So I don't know where that information is.
Are they saying that the chains are worn, or are they saying that the chains are now not fit for purpose?
They're not fit for purpose. Work it, all you're going to do is repeat the problem you've got now.
And that there was a problem with the mats as well.
But that's something else.
Well, that's...
They weren't installed properly, they weren't put down properly. I found something in that plan.
But that was rectified. But you're always going to have that. With that matting system, you're always going to have maintenance costs.
But really,
it's not a wet core system.
I mean, we've got costs for that, but that's another matter for another day.
Section 106 then.
I was going to suggest, aren't 106 money goes towards?
I did check that, and they have said that the word on the section 106 is for new equipment, and the wording of it would cover for some maintenance as long as we gave them all the details beforehand and any invoices.
That's fine. So we can have new mats.
Yeah, as long as we don't go crazy and spend it all just on maintenance, we can.
So does that include the mats? Can we include this in that?
If we wanted to put the wet pour down and get decent matting down, that would be able to come out of that, because that would be improvements to the aircraft.
Could we lose that 1192 in that as well?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Oh, right.
But would we want to get some other quotes on that?
Well, we've got two.
Don't we have to get 3 or something?
Yeah, I would try and
Struggle to find it. It took me a month to find two companies. Okay.
So
what company is that?
Is
Is that ARD? Or did they come in expensive?
that the one that you knew? They were hugely more expensive. This is a local company down in somewhere. I've got the details.
Yeah.
I mean, I can supply those costs. I did forward their email to everyone. Their prices on it, please. But yeah, I'll see if I can get another one then.
So who's dealing with section 106 application? It's got to be coordinated. I thought it was you, Janetta. But,
yeah,
you know,
I mean,
but you know,
I think if they've said yes, we can have it to use for that sort of thing, I think we can put a claim and get it. And obviously, we need to be thinking about the equipment, which obviously we've looked at.
I think it should be one bundle,
yes.
and then the 1192 gets lost in the bundle.
Yeah. And get the flooring done as well.
Do you think there might be something over for another piece of equipment?
There's 15,000.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So I'll get a third quote, a second and third quote for the dip.
Okay.
So, no, I've got the quote two. I've got two for those.
We've got prices
Because
on
ARD did another parachute, and they came in cheaper for the wet pour.
They didn't on this one.
Chairman, I suggest that we look at whoever we can get, just give them what we require and as a whole, really, including the equipment.
Do you know what?
Well, access it, but it's what we start with.
Yeah, but do you know what we're looking to put in there? Oh,
Yeah.
right, okay. Yeah.
So if we work together and come up with a package of things we require.
Right. I'm just conscious of this because this report was generated in November.
Yeah.
And that wasn't the first time it had been reported. So heaven forbid something happens to a child.
Well, then we need to get on with it.
There's none of it is an
A.
A. One's a B, which needs to be repaired on the inspector within 4 weeks. That's the highest.
Yeah, and he keeps getting that B, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, it's 4 months, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, okay, well, I'll get a third quote and then.
So we're going to look for a package to cover the flooring, there's swing repairs, and an additional piece of equipment.
Okay. Oh, I'll have a rest. Number 9, Mr. Finance. Himself.
I'll do a minute. Yeah.
Do you like I'll do it and you tell me I'm wrong? Let me try. I'll get this. Yeah, you've all received the monthly accounts. Any questions? Moving on.
Right, hang on, so someone's got a proposal these are okay to sign.
I was going to do that. So I was proposed.
Oh, so you said moving on.
Well, we're moving on to proposed.
So do you want to second it then?
I think I'll second it.
Okay. Everybody in favour? Good. sign it.
Did anyone, sorry, down the end of the table, did anyone put their hand up there? Or so, yes. Did you?
Yes.
Okay, there's some, can I move on? Some other things under the financial matters that I've read about 6 or 7 times and hopefully understand. This is prepared by Mike, who's not here tonight. Risk assessments. We missed the usual review of risk assessments. It's something that's done every year. These are the documents that were sent to you, which I guess you've all studied. No? They were circulated. They were attached to mine.
With the
account. So I suggest you perhaps look.
They're not on there,
Nothing much has changed according to Mike. There's a box on the annual return that asks if we have thought about it recently. The our predecessors approved this a year ago, and what Mike is saying is that they are still. We're going to do a proper review in the April or July's F&GP meeting, when anybody will have a chance to send in your thoughts if they need amending, and then we can assess them. So I would like us to approve what we have, which is this, so that we can go through the annual return and audit process, and then ask you to send in any comments you may have on these in the next month or so. So can I have your approval? I propose that we adopt these for this coming year, and with the proviso that we'll look at any comments at the F&G meeting, the next F&G meeting. Okay, so I'm proposing that. Have a second? All in agreement? Thank you.
James is done
Standing orders and financial...
Sorry, before we go on,
Yep.
can we have access to those documents?
Oh, you're going to be sent everything.
Thank you.
You might regret that. You might regret that.
You've got a big letterbox.
Standing orders and financial regulations. We usually do a review on that, on the 2 documents. We are aware that there are some changes that may need to be made as a result of amendments to tendering rules that we've been talking about. They've only just been finalised, so we need to do some work on this subject early in the new year, again, the F&G committee. The purpose of this agenda item is to simply allow us to have a minute in the books in the current year to say that the review is underway. So I propose that we minute that. Second, please. All in favour?
Hang on. Who's seconded that? Sorry, was everyone in favour of that? Yeah. So they will be reviewed, and that will be at the next finance meeting.
Finance meeting.
Okay. Which is when?
No.
There's one in
April.
April.
21st.
Do you want?
Audit arrangements. Yeah, no recommendations. We're audit arrangement 2016-17, and it's 9.2 as well. 9.2. Apparently the Audit Commission has been abolished, and there's a new body responsible for ensuring that the councils meet their obligation with regard to being audited. There's a new company being created to take that on, which is called the Small Authorities Audit Appointments Limited. SAAA for short. We have options. We can either go along with that body and be audited by that body, or we can make our own arrangements. The general gist is that if we make our own arrangements, where do we go? It'll probably be more expensive, more administrative work, and most councils anyway are going along with SAAA. 8. So we've been advised by Calc that we should have a minute showing that we've thought about this. We either go with the recommendation of SAAA or we go it alone. And my recommendation, and Mike's would be we go with SAAA. So I would like to propose that we do that. Could I have a seconder, please? All in agreement? Shall we do? Did I miss anything out?
Shall I just go through what you would have to do? Just
Yes,
so
please do
people know?
that. Yes, please do
If
that.
we had chosen to come out of the usual arrangements, we would have had to appoint an appropriate external independent. Yeah, I think so.
Who's there?
It was over this way. Well, not for our bank. Oh, but that's not much. I'm missing the other one.
Your wallet dropped.
No,
Nothing out.
I think some young stood mucking about.